Hello boys and girls, and welcome to today's lesson. During your gym instructor qualification, you will need to do some basic anatomy and physiology, so you've got a rough understanding of what happens in your heart during exercise and what happens in the skeletal system, the muscles, the digestive system. So today we're going to look at the heart. The heart is a pump that pumps blood around the body. It is situated just off to the left of center, behind the sternum, in between the left and the right lung. Why do you need to know that? Because it could be a question on your anatomy and physiology exam. So let's now look at the heart. The heart has 1, 2, 3, 4 chambers. 2 upper chambers and 2 lower chambers. The upper chambers are called atria. The lower chambers are called ventricles. So we have deoxygenated blood that needs to travel back into the heart. Deoxygenated blood meaning blood without oxygen. The deoxygenated blood goes into the right atria via the superior and the inferior vena cava. From the right atria, the blood will then travel to the right ventricle through the tricuspid valve. From the right ventricle, the deoxygenated blood needs to go to the lungs. Remember, at the moment, the blood has no oxygen, so it needs to go to the lungs to pick up that oxygen. It travels from the right ventricle to the lungs via the pulmonary artery. What's important to remember about the pulmonary artery? It is the only artery in your body that carries deoxygenated blood. Other arteries carry oxygenated blood. So in the lungs, the blood will travel into the alveoli in the lungs where diffusion happens. Diffusion or gaseous exchange. So the carbon dioxide will be taken out, the nitrogen and all the processes will be taken out of the blood, and oxygen will be pumped into the blood. So the blood now has oxygen via diffusion. The blood then needs to go back into the heart, and it goes into the left atria from the pulmonary vein. What's important to remember about the pulmonary vein? It's the only vein in your body that carries oxygenated blood. All other veins carry deoxygenated blood. From the left atria into the left ventricle through the bicuspid valve. The tricuspid valve and the bicuspid valve we'll learn more when you go on to your level 3 personal trainer qualification. From the left ventricle then, it goes to the body. And it goes to the body via the aorta. Now we have the blood running through our body, and it runs to our body through the arteries, the arterioles, and into the capillaries. What happens in the capillaries? We have another stage of diffusion or gaseous exchange. So once the oxygen has been taken from the blood and it goes into the organs, the muscle, and where your body needs that oxygen in the blood, it is left with deoxygenated blood. And that deoxygenated blood goes through the venules, the veins, and then back to the superior and inferior vena cava, and that completes the cycle. So again, right atria into the right ventricle through the tricuspid valve, right ventricle to the lungs via the pulmonary artery. What happens in the lungs? Diffusion or gaseous exchange. From the lungs back to the heart through the left atria, through the pulmonary vein, from the left atria to the left ventricle through the bicuspid valve, from the left ventricle to the body through the aorta, from the aorta to the arterioles or the arteries, arterioles, capillaries, diffusion happens, oxygen out, carbon dioxide in through the venules, through the veins, and the cycle is completed at the superior inferior vena cava. As always, if you find this video helpful on your level 2 gym instructor journey, leave me a comment and subscribe to the channel for more hints and tips on how to pass your gym instructor or your personal training qualification.